Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on your time zone. Hi, I'm Charlie Smith.
And I'm Alki Nastin. And you're listening to the Brittany Army Barracks.
What publication were you incorrectly quoted to being Alkney? Oh my God.
Alki Nastin. I believe it was just some blogger on medium.com. And I was just deep diving some Maya Marie stuff because I'm kind of obsessed about the topic. And I ended up finding articles about myself. And that was one of them.
Oh my God, Alkney. That's crazy. And do you need to actually officially, debunk the theory that you are Maya Marie or whatever her name is?
No, if they want to give me credit for singing Mind Your Business on medium.com, I'm just going to take it and run. That was me, bitches. Allegedly.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting publicity, albeit very incorrectly. That's really weird. All right, well, let's get right into it. She posted 2 videos back to back with the yellow dress, which, of course, for anybody who's new to the topic, at one point during the conservatorship, fans encouraged her to wear yellow if she wanted to express that she was in need of help or danger. And it's long been suspected that she used the color yellow to signify that she needed assistance getting out of the conservatorship. So since then, anytime we see yellow on her Instagram, it kind of feels like maybe it's a sign that she's in distress.
Yeah, particularly when she draws attention to it, like she did in the caption. It said, "Hello, yellow." And we're like, well, now you're pointing it out. So
right.
But at the same time, she's also said yellow's her favorite color. So can we just never expect her to wear yellow again because it signified danger one time?
Yeah, and she also points out red with the red rose, and now she's Maria River Red. And I've been trying to think, like, does she do that with other colors, really? Like, I don't think she really does that with, like, green or blue or even, like, pink even. Like,
there was a pink thing for a while before Project Red or maybe after, and then it was Project Red again. At one point she was saying, and now I'm going to do Project Pink.
Okay, I might remember that maybe.
It was a long time ago, like maybe 2020.
Yeah, even if it is a sign of her, in distress of some sort, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that as a fan or a spectator or an advocate in the Britney community. I'm not sure exactly what I should even do with it. Because before it was like, okay, she's in this conservatorship, we need to advocate for that to be over. And now if she's signaling for help, it's like, from what though? Specifically.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And another thing too, I don't know if we haven't talked about this together, but I've been talking about it with other friends. We've been working on the timeline of the footage of when that was shot, and we believe that footage of her in the yellow dress is from February. It's not new. She's wearing her ring. There's a point where she turns around and there's an extension hanging down longer than the others, and it matches some stuff from February, as well as like the little mark on her arm where the star tattoo is. It was there too. We found that yellow dress on a rack behind her from a thing from February. So we're getting old footage again. What does that mean?
So wait, so she had a red mark at the same spot where she got the red star tattoo?
Yeah. It's been blurred to shit though, because her footage is so blurry. You can't really see whether it's a star shape or not.
I didn't really realize that. That's super confusing. Okay, so we can't even date the red tattoo. The red star tattoo on her arm doesn't actually date anything then.
Yeah, me and my friends are spiraling over that privately. We're like, what does this mean for timeline now? We're confused.
Truly. Oh my God. And now I do kind of remember there being a red mark on her arm at one point and people being concerned about it. I don't know what we're supposed to even do with it, even if she is signaling for help, but I thought she looked great in the dress, but so it doesn't date anything. That's shitty.
Yeah.
I really was so convinced that like, okay, I see the star tattoo.
No, I believe firmly that footage is from February or before, because just because we started seeing the other footage from that batch in February doesn't mean it was from February either. That's what fucking sucks when trying to figure out stuff about Britney's Instagram. And I mean, we get really granular about it. We look at the nail color. We're like, yep, the nail chipping matches the videos from the ones in February. Like, but the why of it all is so confusing. Like, okay, so you've held on to this yellow dress thing since February, and then you post the yellow dress and say, hello, yellow, and then you deactivate, which, as we know, has caused fan alarm in the past. What's happening here?
And also, did you say the ring was there before? Like the one that she got in Mexico, now we're seeing that it was back in February. She had it too?
No, not that ring. Her engagement ring was on still. Like her wedding ring to Sam was in the yellow video.
Okay. Somebody else pointed that out, and I just, because I saw the red tattoo, I just assumed she was wearing a different ring, and I didn't even really think about it.
This old footage, I'm almost 100% sure that this is old footage from February or before.
Huh. That's wild.
Everything matches. The hair, the tattoos, even those shoes that she's wearing in that video, she wore in a different video around the same exact time. It's like, it's all a match.
That's really confusing. And did she acknowledge it? Did she acknowledge that stuff as throwbacks? I feel like one of those she wrote throwback.
No, not on the yellow dress. She wrote throwback on the stuff with the leopard print, or cheetah print. I'm not sure if it's cheetah or leopard.
It was a pattern, though. It was like a flowy pattern kind of dealio.
Yeah, so because she put throwback on the stuff where she posted what seemed to be fairly unretouched photos of herself, which we haven't seen in a long time.
Oh, that one. I was talking about... she had like a flowy thing, and she said a throwback to Mexico, and she had like...
Yeah, you ready for me to blow your mind on that one too?
What?
I know exactly what post you're talking about. That one's from the bathroom of Mexico, right?
Yeah.
That dress is on the rack with the yellow dress in the February footage.
Oh my God, I just got chills. Why did that give me chills?
I don't know.
What?
Yes. What the fuck being on T found that.
So maybe she was like packing. That's pretty wild. Okay.
I'll show you the screenshots when we get off here so you can see. But yeah, T found all that stuff, and I sent them down a spiral. This is how we work as a group sometimes. Like, I'll notice something, and then I'll tell them, and then they're like, well, we got to research this, and they'll find like 20 more things.
Yeah.
But I had showed them how the hair extension was hanging down in such a very specific way that matched the video where she said, I'm not dead. Mm-hmm. Remember that one?
And that's the other thing too, is I can't figure out like what, if any, significance there is in us like trying to figure out the timeline. You know what I mean? Like, does it matter? Like, if something's wrong, then yeah, we got to get down to the bottom of the mystery of what's going on with Britney. And at the same time, it's like, is there something wrong? Like, maybe she's just fucking with old footage to fuck with old footage. Like, I really, I don't know. I go so back and forth on that because I really want to uncover answers if there are any to be had and to be found, excuse me, but I also don't want to harass Britney. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It's not that she owes us like current information all the time, but it is a pattern that we're getting things presented to us as right now that are obviously improvably from the past. And then you have to ask the question of why. Is it because she just hates filming content and she sits down 4 times a year and films 300 videos and says, this is it for the year, make do?
But why would she even do that? Why would she even do that is the weird question, though. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's making her. She doesn't have to. She's not, as far as we know, she's not even making money off of anything. She's sharing these videos with these different, outfits. And because it's confusing that the timelines are weird in that way, that it's like, okay, did this happen in February? Why are they making it now? That makes it so that I want to poke holes in it. But when I see the videos, when I actually see what she's doing, in my heart, I think it's dance therapy, and I think she's just working shit out. That's what I really feel like is happening in my heart.
It could be, but I think it's still worth asking questions of why would she need to do this, and it doesn't have to be that she's being like held against her will and being told to do it. But is there no reality in which maybe she has contracts with how often she has to post for the Britney brand, and she owes 10 posts a week, and that's why some days we'll get like 7 posts at one time and then just a few smattered throughout a few days? I don't know. We don't know what her contracts look like, and I don't know like her brand, are they dictating to her how she has to keep her brand alive? These are things I don't know. But what I do know is that when the things that are presented to us, they're not as they seem. And of course I want to know why.
Right. Well, the other thing too is that they also are painting it out like Britney is in charge of it. So like, I guess my thought would go to Selena Gomez, who openly doesn't even have the passwords to her own social media. People know that, right? They don't have to lie about it. Like she said that, like, yeah, I don't even access that. That's just my brand. If Selena Gomez can say that and can say, yeah, I don't really use my own personal brand page. I don't use social media. I think Britney would be able to do that as well. Like, I think if the brand was running it, the brand would just run it,
Well, maybe. But I was going to say, from Britney's mouth, she says she runs that page. I don't know if you've heard this audio before, but I recently ran across it because it was her oldest son's 18th birthday. Mm-hmm. People were posting that audio. Do you remember when she made it was like 10 minutes or so of audio about how hurt she was over her boys.
Yes, I do.
So she started out in that audio talking about her Instagram because they were mad at her over the Instagram and how she expresses herself on there. And she was very specific in saying, like, I use my Instagram for me because it is fun and it is a way for me to express myself. Those are not her exact words, but that is very close to what she said. So Britney Spears herself, if we are gonna sit here and act like her recording in August of 2022, her 22-minute recording, and her court testimonies are Bible, then this has to be too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And she says she runs it. She said she posts.
I assume any of the audio that we have heard since her trial, I think has been Britney. And some people will argue that some of it has been altered or some of it has been edited, which very well could be. But I think that they definitely are her, and I don't think it's anybody else, pretending to be her or whatever.
I think it'd be multiple.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think sometimes her posts are her, and sometimes they might not be her, especially.
No, I'm sorry. No. I didn't mean her posts. I meant her that voice. And the angry captions. I didn't really understand why people felt like Britney was going after fans. Like the media was making these connections. Like Britney is like deactivating after she goes after her fans and talks about how they're like invasive or something. I didn't think she was talking to fans, but the media seems to love that narrative.
Yeah, and I think you're referring to the caption where she said she's tired of people running up to her and saying, we miss you, and basically saying, should I just stop saying hi and disturb the peace, which I took as a threat to deactivate, which then she did the next morning.
Yeah.
So I hear you. When I was thinking about that caption, I was hearing it in a lot of different ways, and I was asking questions. I was like, maybe she's talking to the media, the way they're treating her.
That's what I think, yeah.
Maybe she's talking to paparazzi, because if you've ever watched a paparazzi video, they run up and they say, Britney, we love you, we've missed you. They say stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I said, but maybe she is talking to fans. I don't know, really. I thought maybe she was, though, because I was actually that day on my own videos getting comments from people saying, I miss the OG Brit. I miss the OG Brit. I miss old Brit. I miss the way she used to be. I've gotten multiple comments like that. Mm-hmm. So fans do say that. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's obnoxious. I hate when people say shit like that. I just am so fucking sick of the way people treat Britney in general. I'm so fucking over it. It's disgusting.
Preach.
And anytime she opens up her fucking comment section, it feels like a part-time job to sit there and like, do I have to moderate those comments? No, I don't. But I definitely feel the need to go and insert myself. And, the more unhinged people, I don't even address it. But if somebody's just, says nasty, like, girl, get it together, or like whatever, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. And I love how people will like, the comment section was open on the picture of a chicken. And people are just like, you're unhinged, Brit. And I'm just like, because of a picture of a fucking chicken doing yoga? Like, how does that make her unhinged? Like, nothing she's doing, and that's usually the word they use, is unhinged. Yeah. And it's just like, nothing she is doing is fucking wild. Like nothing. She's not even posting nudes online anymore, which for the record, I post fucking nudes online and nobody calls me unhinged.
No, but to be fair, I think that the comments in that particular post were not about that post, because people haven't been allowed to comment in so long, and she's been posting a lot of stuff, her on the stripper pole and her doing dances and her fashion videos and her, all kinds of stuff. And I think people have just been waiting to unleash these things, and it didn't matter which post that the comments were on. I think they're just commenting on the situation.
You're right. I mean, obviously people are just getting their words in wherever they can get them in. But I guess that's my point, is like she can't even post a fucking meme of a chicken and have the comments on this like innocent thing, because people will just have to address this other elephant in the room that's in their mind that for me isn't even there. She's on a stripper pole. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't understand why people think that's absolutely wild of her. It's not that big a fucking deal. It's cool. I think it's cool that she does that. And I tried to get my poll up this week, but Ethan wouldn't let me put it up because he was just like, that'll be such a pain in the ass. No, I was like, fine. But I'm determined to get it up this weekend. But yeah, it just really bothers me that people are acting like she's being so wild and acting like she's, mentally unwell to some degree because of like nothing. I mean, she's just dancing. She's doing the same shit she's always done. And, I don't know.
People called
annoying.
her crazy when she posted her making an omelet, which I guess was more of an egg scramble. But they were like, oh, this is insane.
That's
this
true.
isn't even an omelet. She's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, can y'all just fucking chill?
She can't fucking cut fruit without people being like, you're using the wrong kind of tray to cut that on. People are saying keep knives away from Britney when she's in her kitchen trying to cook. Meanwhile, Shakira's on the fucking MTV Movie Awards like whipping fucking knives in her hair. And granted, I love Shakira. She can do no wrong. But it's just, I don't know. It's really frustrating that Britney can't be a human being and just exist.
No, the double standard for her against anybody else that you see that's of her like same caliber, it's just wildly unbalanced. And it is why I'm so loud and annoying about it, because it really fucking grinds my gears that every single thing that she does, there's criticism for it.
So she deactivated her Instagram on September 16th. It was only out for about 24 hours, a little less than that, I think, actually. And then she came back on, and the yellow dress posts were gone.
Well, what's weird is when she came back, actually, it was all still there.
Oh.
But then, like an hour or so later, they disappeared. I had screenshots of how many posts were there when she came back and stuff, and it was the same exact amount as when she left.
Damn.
But then, like an hour or so later, she took the yellow dress post down, and she changed the caption that seemed mad. The one saying, like, should I stop saying hi or whatever.
Very interesting. Okay, so that one got taken down.
It did.
I really hope that wasn't to fans, because I would feel bad. But I don't think fans are even approaching her like that anymore. I mean, maybe, but I don't see any evidence that anybody even has access to her to that degree. She doesn't go outside, it doesn't seem like.
Well, that's why I was thinking, I wondered if she meant the people in Cabo who were all filming her and stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Possibly. Although I still personally feel like that was a setup from her team.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And did you see the rumors about the Vegas residency?
Yes, and I don't believe it even a little bit. I think it's a complete
I don't
bullshit. They're just, I think whoever's putting these news articles out about things like this is just trying to buy time, and because they're still trying to get Britney on board with doing this stuff. They want her to do this stuff. They want her to come back and make the album and do the tour and do the Vegas thing.
Yeah.
But I think she doesn't want to, and so they are putting these out, hoping that she'll change her mind.
I don't even know that it's, I agree, but I don't even know that the motive would necessarily need to be hoping that Britney changes her mind so much as just keeping that rumor mill relevant to Britney. I just think it's always going to be that. They're always going to keep doing this, where her management will keep pushing these like rumors that she's going to come back and then it'll fall through. I mean, like even with the Elton John concert, there was like speculation that she was going to do that and different things. And I think I would be willing to bet that there is another artist also represented by the same agent or whatever that will end up in a Vegas residency. So that people are talking about, oh, who's coming to Vegas? Who's coming to Vegas? And then it'll end up being like Gaga or fucking Katy Perry or something like that.
Well, Gaga is already in Vegas.
Yes, bad example. But you know what I mean? I think...
I was actually, when you were saying that, I was thinking, ooh, what if it's Madonna? Because they've been spreading these rumors that Madonna wants Britney on tour with her. And she just had a huge health scare. So it actually would make a lot more sense for Madonna to go sit her ass in Vegas and not be torn around the whole country.
Yeah.
And then they can rumor that Britney's going to be in the show and sell more tickets. That's exactly what's about to happen. Calling it now.
I think that's probably really likely. And Madonna is a good guess, but that was what my thought was when I heard about that. I was like, it's not Britney though. I was like, whoever is starting that rumor is associated with Britney on paper somehow, financially, but represents somebody else who will end up in Vegas. That's who I was thinking. And now Cade supposedly only represents Britney, but I don't believe that could be fucking true, because technically she retired. So how's he going to only represent one person? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't buy that. I think that's a rumor too.
Well, I mean, obviously he's getting paid somehow. Like, he's not somebody who's just going to sit around not being paid, waiting to be paid. So he's on some kind of payroll somewhere. Yeah.
I heard something about how he straight up left CAA, but I don't know that that's accurate.
I heard that too.
And I didn't
think he was more so
that.
Forced to leave CAA because of the sexual abuse
allegations.
I
don't think that's accurate. No, I don't think that's true. No, those things had nothing to do with each other. They were years and years apart, and CAA stood by him when it came out. Yeah.
Gross.
The accusations against Cade came out in 2017, and he left like recently. He left CAA very recently.
Yeah, well, something is very fishy about that, because what is he doing? What is he doing then? Is he just freelancing it for Britney? And like, to what degree is he on the payroll, and as what? Because managers And agents, they tend to work on commission. They don't have like a yearly salary from the star usually.
He became Britney's manager in 2022 after Larry Rudolph stepped down, is the report that it says. And what I'm reading right here is from page 6. And he's a former CAA agent. But I would have to look that up exactly what year he left there. But I'm almost positive that the allegations did not influence him leaving CAA.
I just think there's no way that she's going to go back to Vegas where the bulk worst part of her trauma happened. I've never heard her speak of Vegas as though it was a good or enjoyable time for her. It's all forced labor and everybody was having fun but me. I was being forced to wear wigs with conditioning treatment and it was torture. The backup dancers were always skinnier than me to make me look bad. There was no joy in anything she ever said about Vegas.
Yeah. I also think that the idea of Britney going back to work in general is pretty preposterous, but the idea of her going back to the last thing she was doing before all of this, it really makes no sense. And anytime I hear about those conditioner treatments, it just makes me want to cry. It's so fucking sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think there may be a part of Britney who did love performing and did thrive in that arena, but I don't think that part of her is around anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, at least not for right now. I think there's
Right.
an absolute chance that she could get to a point in healing where that's, somewhere way down the line in the future. But at the very least, both of her children need to be 18 years old. She needs to not be giving Kevin Federline a portion of her money, and she needs to do some fucking healing. And I don't mean that in the sense of oh, look at this fucking person.
No,
She
I
needs
hear
to,
you.
but just in the sense she deserves some time and space. And then whenever she's ready to come back, I know I will be the first one in line to fucking see her live again. But only if it's very, very clear that it's something that she's ready to do and she wants to do and she's going to financially benefit from. I wouldn't want to see her go on tour unless she was going with Taylor Swift, because I trust Taylor Swift more than I trust pretty much any fucking artist. And that's really based on just her going up against Ticketmaster, really. That's not even based on Taylor Swift, outside of that.
Yeah. I don't know. If she announces a Vegas residency, first of all, I'm crying foul, but second of all, I'm going there and I'm gonna see her in person and be like, I need a read on this situation. Did you consent to this? Are you good?
It'd be the same as the book. If she announced a residency in Vegas, I would buy a ticket and go see it and tell everybody whether or not I thought she was, happy doing it.
Yeah, and if I could afford a meet and greet, I'm doing that too, because I want to be able to see that
Fuck
you're
yeah.
okay.
I actually talked to Studio City Barbie, and she did a meet and greet with Britney in 2016. And she said that Britney had to ask the security guy if she was allowed to give her a hug. Studio City Barbie was like, "Can I hug you?" And Britney was like, "Am I allowed to touch them?" And the guy was like, "Sure." And she had a very, I really liked her story. At least to me, it was very powerful of just hearing what it was like to see Britney at a meet and greet. And it sounded exactly what you would assume it was, and that she was really sad but sweet and whatever.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, man.
I love Britney so much. Yeah, and I'm looking up here. Cade was with CAA up until he started as Britney's manager. But again, nobody knows what he's managing. People literally are but we don't know what he manages.
I mean, okay, I think he would have had something to do with the book deal and brokering that deal, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Maybe he had a hand in the fragrance thing, but I doubt it. That feels like a whole different job.
But I mean, even Hold Me Closer and Mind Your Business. I mean, is there a chance that those are Cade's brainchildren?
Okay, so no, I don't think so. And the reason I think that is because I think both of them were recorded a long time ago. Definitely Mind Your Business would have been before Cade. I mean, Cade was probably in fucking high school when Mind Your Business was actually recorded. He's so young.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
Hold Me Closer, I'm unsure about this, but they had announced that on Britney's Twitter in 2015. She said she was doing that.
That's a debunked thing. That was
No.
that was not true. So back in whatever year that was, apparently there was a viral trend, a hashtag trend going around about some sort of tiny dancer thing. I'll have to look it up. But I said that for a while, and people were like, "No, that's actually not accurate. She was just talking about the song." And I was like, "Really?" And Hold on, let's see. Let's look it up.
But I saw a tweet saying like it's a done deal. Me and Elton are collaborating.
But they never did. So like,
Well,
but it was never announced. Like, so there's a tweet of her saying, I just, hold on, let me look. So it says the tweet that people were referencing, the ones that I saw was October 21st, 2015. It says Tiny Dancer, hashtag Elton Always, and then she tagged Elton Official. But there was a trend where people were like, what's your favorite Elton song? And it was just something like Elton Always.
I don't think that's the tweet I saw, but now I can't find it. So
because same thing, like I saw one that I could have swore was her being like, just left the studio with whatever, and people were like, no, that was a fake one.
But when the one I saw wasn't fake because I saw it on her page for sure.
From back in 2016,
2015
or of 2015 or
yeah.
whatever.
I mean, maybe this is what I saw and I'm fucking tripping. I don't know. Whatever. I'll drop it because if you're right, you're right.
No worries, dude. We could totally revisit it and figure it out for sure.
Yeah, I think it requires more digging than I can do live while we talk. But I'm willing to accept that I'm wrong and that wasn't actually a deal in 2015. If it can be proven, it can be proven. But I still don't think it's Cade.
I don't think so either. But I would be interested to see that though, to figure out about that, because again, that was one of the points that I was making and somebody was like, no, and they debunked me and I was like, really? I could have swore that there was a tweet that said like, just left the studio with Elton. They were like, no.
I want to talk about Jamie Lynn. Can we talk about Jamie Lynn?
Yes.
I want to talk about this Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Jamie Lynn is joining on as an official cast member and donating all of her winnings that she will not be seeing towards the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, because she got some clapback for scabbing a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That's what I would say.
Not as bad as Drew, but...
No, but it's frustrating that Jamie Lynn had her mother scabbing for her and advertising for things. That was a little frustrating. I don't know to what degree those allegations are legitimate, but I definitely heard that Lynn was promoting projects that Jamie Lynn was not able to promote.
Well, and don't you remember when the strike first happened and Jamie Lynn came on crying, oh, it's so sad because I filmed Sweet Magnolias, but now I'm not allowed to talk about it. And these are things that we did and we're proud of, but we can't advertise because of the strike. So she got blowback on that. And that was even before before Lynn.
Just for making the video.
Yeah.
I guess the reason that I didn't come down on Jamie Lynn more on that, because I was pissed about that, and I actually made a few videos and actually took them down, was because Jamie Lynn technically didn't break anything. The strike started like at midnight or whatever, and she did that the night before. So she didn't technically do anything wrong. Would I argue that she should have still known better and not done that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she should have done that. And I think she's a grown up and she is part of a fucking union and she should have had a little more sense of solidarity. But, I think, at least for me, it's just so easy to pick on Britney's family. I just really, so you do it.
Okay, sure, no problem. I have no problem picking on people that deserve to be picked on, and in my opinion, Jamie Lynn is one of those. I don't think that she's like the biggest villain in the story by any stretch, but I also don't think that she has been as supportive to her sister as she could have been, and I think she's done a lot of crying about how hard it is to be Britney's sister, while never stepping up to the plate as someone who vocally, outwardly supports her.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, at least for me, I've taken sort of a half-assed stance, I guess I'll say, on really trying to go light on Britney's family. But if there is one person that it's a little tough for me to stay unbiased with, it's Jamie Lynn. Partly because, I feel like as a sibling, you know what I mean? She should just be doing more. She should have done so much more. And I think it's a little shady that right at the tail end of the conservatorship, part of what clued the Free Britney advocates into the fact that something was wrong was them trying to transfer funds into Jamie Lynn's name. So that tells me that Jamie Lynn was cooperating to at least some degree with whatever was happening behind closed doors in the conservatorship, paperwork wise and whatnot. But I'm very annoyed with how she's dealt with the strike. I'm even more irritated that she is now getting around it by being on a reality television show. Like, I guess it's great that she's donating it to that. Sure, fine. But I don't know. At least to me, it's just really...
Yeah, but it feels like a bunch of bullshit positive PR to be like, see, guys, I am a really good person. And I'm not saying she's a bad person. Who am I to judge her goodness or badness as a person on a whole? Like, I don't know her. But I do find it really not ideal that she's going to do this right now while her sister is in what seems to be like the heat of a very messy divorce. She's releasing her book. There's a million rumors going around about her. People are wondering what's going on. Questions. And I've already seen it. I've already seen the reporters who are now going and following Jamie Lynn and saying, hey, what's up with your sister's divorce? And she's saying nothing. But I'm like, you put yourself in the spotlight right now. So you know that people are going to ask you. And that's going to continue to be a thing as long as she's on this show.
Yep. And you know what? Not for nothing. The reports, this is from Entertainment Tonight, which is, at least to me, a little bit more legitimate than maybe a TMZ report, but not by much. So this says, Britney isn't thrilled about Jamie Lynn doing Dancing with the Stars. She feels like it's bad timing, especially with the current situation she's dealing with in her split with Sam, says the source. She feels continuously disappointed by her family, and it definitely stings. She doesn't plan to watch Jamie Lynn on the show, and their relationship is strained.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me that Jamie Lynn's not using the rise of Britney's star. Even though Britney's star is rising right now in terms of just gossip and rumors, you can't tell me that Jamie Lynn's not riding the back of that into this job.
Yeah. And also, Jamie Lynn dodged questions about Britney, simply saying, my 15-year-old was very motivated for me to do this.
Yep. But see, that's what I'm saying is I don't think she'll last on this. We'll see. But if she does, that's going to be a topic of conversation all the time for her.
Jamie Lynn's career as a whole has been really frustrating for me. I know people know her from Zoe, whatever the fuck, but I was too old for that, so I just never followed that show. And
same.
And I have no patience for Jamie Lynn as a whole. I mean, her career started to gain traction with Britney's conservatorship, and it just, it just always felt like the two were sort of connected somehow. Not that it's Jamie Lynn's fault, of course. She was a literal child at the time, as far as I can remember. But it's still just kind of annoying that Britney's parents got famous based on Britney's talent and all this stuff, and then they kind of just did it with the other one. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, and watch, they're probably going to have her dancing to a Britney song. You just watch.
I don't know that they will. I don't know that will happen. I don't know. I think Jamie Lynn really fucking knows better. I do, because she sang one of Britney's songs before, and Britney got fucking mad. Like, they got in a fight about it. So, like, it would be one thing if, like, that was uncharted territory. I would be like, oh my God, maybe. But, like, Jamie Lynn literally knows better. She did that before, and Britney was not fucking having it. Britney was pissed at her. So, like, at this point, if she does it again, then she's overtly antagonizing Britney to the point where Britney will be able to call her out on it and be like, you know better. Like, I don't want you doing that, so what are you doing? Do you know what I mean?
I do.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I get you that it is possible, but my vote on whether or not it will happen, nope, I don't think she'll do it. I don't think Jamie Lynn's that dumb.
We'll see, because in my opinion, like, these networks, once they get a hold of you, and you've seen it with American Idol, what happens when they start making decisions and you don't really get a say anymore?
I mean, I do know enough that she is going to know before she goes out whether or not they're putting that song on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, like,
of course.
At this point in the game, they might be able to convince her to do that, but at the same time, like, she knows her own family. Like, she knows how much fucking trouble she'll be in. And I would be more likely, if we're, making kind of like speculations or like guesses on it, I think she would be more likely to dance to a song that refers to Britney. Ugh. So, like, Miley Cyrus Party in the USA, or Megan the Stallion Anxiety. Have you ever heard that song? Because holy shit, it's so, oh my God, dude, it's so fucking good. At one point, she's just like, Marilyn Monroe, my favorite hoe, my favorite bad bitch, I think she the go, jamming to Britney, singing to Whitney, and that's one of my favorite songs, but it's newer. So I think what's her face? I think Jamie Lynn could, sorry, I'm drunk. I'm just so shit-faced.
No,
just
you're
kidding.
not.
I'm just kidding. That's what I say. Everybody at work's like, stop saying that as a joke. Anyway, but yeah, so Jamie Lynn, I think, will dance to something that refers to Britney, or even, you know what might even happen? If she dances to like Christina Aguilera or something like that, where Jamie Lynn can then say, well, you didn't want me to dance to your stuff, so I had to do something, or a Justin Timberlake song. Gasp! Like, yes. Could you imagine if it's like, can't stop the feeling? I'll be like, you're a stupid sister. Like, oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you have a good point. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, we're just making guesses at this point, obviously. But I do think that the timing of it, and with what's going on with her sister, with Britney, is not very sensitive on her part.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very frustrated by Jamie Lynn's behavior consistently. I honestly, at this point, the only person I really don't touch topic-wise as far as her family is Lynn. And that's partly just out of, you don't fuck with somebody's mama. You just don't. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe I shouldn't on Jamie Lynn either, but I do think Jamie Lynn I think she brings it on herself. I think you're right that she sort of, you know, she wrote a fucking book bitching about being Britney's sister, and at no point was she just like, and it sucks that Britney had to deal with the conservatorship. Like, she's just, yeah, I don't know.
No, but she did say Britney locked me up with a knife and scared me.
If the allegations that Jamie Lynn has made against Britney are true, of course that's horrible. Of course that sucks if you have had those kind of difficult relationships with your siblings. But there's been no room for their relationship to really like grow and be good. And I don't think that could at all be considers Britney's fault. I mean, even the texts that Jamie Lynn sent to Britney days after Britney was like, they're going to fucking kill me or whatever. And she was just like, I don't know why you're fighting it. They're not going to let you out of this conservatorship. But it's just like, the fact that she was sending texts like that to Britney and then also was like getting in charge of her money right before everything unraveled is just, the whole thing is shady. It's all sketchy to me.
Yeah, and that's my problem with Jamie Lynn is like, you know, I think that she tries to pretend like she was supporting Free Britney because that would be more popular for her to do, but her actions have never backed that up. So for me, I'm like, you're just disingenuous, and I just need you to be more honest about what you really think. And if you think your sister should have been in the conservatorship, then fucking stick to your guns on that.
Yeah.
And stop trying to appease Britney's fans to like you by saying things like, yes, Free Britney, oh my God, I was fighting for her. Don't say that if you weren't.
I want to talk about this before we go. Somebody else asked me about this. So I guess now there's 13 people running Britney's social medias, and one of them was in Iraq?
Yes, very weirdly, one of them is in Iraq.
Huh.
And I don't understand why that might be. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why that might be. I understand why there might be 13 people, and it jumped up. It was lower prior to a week or two ago. They've added, I want to say 4 or 5 people in the last week, which I believe are Simon & Schuster media people. Because you can also go into her page on Meta and you can see the paid ads that they're running, and they're all for the book and they're all for Simon & Schuster. So I believe that's their team that got added in, and they'll probably be taken out whenever this media cycle is over. Mm-hmm. But the Iraq one, what is that?
That is very weird.
Everyone else is in America that has access to the account.
See, my only thing that I would think of is if she had some sort of like overseas, you know, marketing, you know what I mean? Like people that were like doing something for her overseas, but I can't imagine why there. I don't know. That's so weird.
But see, if they were, you'd be able to see the ads they were running, because you can see all ads that they have paid for, and they're all book related. They don't even have perfume ads going. Yeah. Or if they do, it's not via her page. It would be via another page. Right.
Like through the Yep. That's very weird. Is there any like running theories? Does anybody have any ideas on why that is?
No.
That's fucking confusing.
Yeah. I mean, my theory is just that there's Simon & Schuster people in there now, which I don't even think is a theory. I think is a fact, because I can literally look at the paid ads and see that they were posted and paid for, and Britney didn't do that herself.
I mean, I guess my only theory would be is if it's just sort of, you know, an IT sort of thing, like if they're outsourcing some IT work remotely to somebody in Iraq. But I mean, I don't know anything about, you know, what the logistics of that are or why it would be there and not another place. Exploring the idea of how to treat Britney like a human being while asking questions about the people who exploited and abused her is an easy enough balance. I don't think that that's impossible. I think for some reason there's been a real disconnect in the Justice for Britney community lately. But I think for those of us that are sticking true to the path of humanizing Britney, advocating for her justice and for people to stop bullying her, no matter who we're talking about, whether that's the fans or whether it's the paparazzi or just whoever. I think
her own family, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, really, it feels like there needs to be more voices singing positive praises for Britney as these news developments come out. I mean, it's just fucking wild how much, you just every day I Google Britney and there's a whole new set of stories to talk about. It's kind of become almost uncharted. I mean, it's always been like this to some degree, but maybe it's just me, but this feels like 2007 2.0. I mean, it really does. And back in 2007, at least the internet news cycle wasn't quite so evolved. So now it's just, I mean, literally, I just, even while we were sitting here, I Googled Britney Spears and it's just a slew of everything from Sam and Jamie Lynn, and fans have mixed feelings about the divorce and her risque things about her sons. It's just, they're constantly talking about her. I don't know how to help. I just want to add a positive voice into that cacophony of negativity. I want to be part of a solution in looking at celebrities with humanity and treating them better than they've been treated so far.
Same. And I want to call out this bullshit industry in the way that they just harass and bully their product and they stop seeing them as people. And by extension, sometimes fans do too. Thank you for joining us. And remember, people can take everything away from you,
but they can never take away your truth.
See you next Tuesday, bitches.